guys, Country Boy John here. Just finished cleaning out my 10,000E by Heatmaster. Figured I'd do a video. I hadn't seen anything on YouTube about it yet, so I figured I'd go ahead and shoot one. Some of the tools that I use to do the clean out is small screwdriver, a garden shovel, a hand garden shovel, a long poker stick, something with a pointy end, a small garden hoe, the clean out tool that comes with the Heatmaster stove, round nose shovel, a couple sockets or wrenches, and then shop vac. That's gonna get its work out today. When I start cleaning it out, I start at the top, work my way down, get in your heat bypass, pull this out, and take your Heatmaster cleaning tool, and I start with it with the flat side up, and I rake the top of the air channel all the way to the back, all the way to the front. There's a little bit that sticks to the top, that'll rake it down, and then flip it over and push it to the back, keeping it off the ground or off the bottom lever or on the bottom paint channel, and then raise up and pull all the ash to the front. I'll take a bucket and hold up there and rake it into the bucket. Again, just lots of scraping and shoveling out the ash. Then I go down to the next pass with the round part down up into this opening up here. Again, trying to keep the round part off and use the top part to scrape the top of it. Go all the way to the back, drop the round part down, and pull all the ash out the front. And after you get that, then I take my round nose shovel and towards the back of the stove, if you come closer, take the shovel, the round part, and knock all the stuff loose. That's a trouble spot in the back. There's a lot of ash that sits there all season. You just break all that loose. Another trouble spot is on this front edge here, and I take my my hand garden shovel and chip all that away down to the ash pan. And I use the ash pan to clean it out. So once I get ash down there, I shake the grates, let it drop into the ash pan. When it gets full, empty it out. Then I take, after that's mostly shoveled out, then I take my shop vac, and I have a couple like car cleaning utensils, put those on the end and get down in the cracks between the grates and the edge. And that's again what I use the small screwdriver for, is holding the end of the hose down in the opening and scraping along the cracks and sucking all that ash out. It's probably a little overkill, but I like to take care of my stuff and do what I can. So again, the 10,000 is large enough that I can actually climb in it, and I do a lot of the work from the inside of the stove. The 5,000 to 3,000, I don't think you can do that, but it makes it a lot easier just crawling in it and cleaning it up. So once that's cleaned out, I empty the ash pan out one more time, and then I set the ash pan to the side and take the poker stick. Depending on which year your stove is manufactured, there's a lip at the back that pushes the air channel. The air channel comes in the back and pushes up into the fire. And there's a wedge there at the back where your ash pan ends about here, and you can't. There's a void here. So you take that poker and break all that loose, and then take your small hoe and pull all that stuff out. But you need a poker stick to get to that void in the back of the ash pan. I don't shop back out the ash pan, but you could run your shop back hose up there, and it's too hard to get to, but you could shove the hose up there, move it around a little bit, and vacuum up what you can. So once the ash pan's cleaned out, then I come around to the back of the stove. And then once you're back here, take your two 2 screws out to hold the fan in place and keep the insulation off of the air intake. Take the screws out that hold the fan in place, pull the fan off, let it kind of hang off to the side, and then there's 2 screws down here at the bottom that have some silicone adhesive around them. You want to break those loose and back those out. I learned this area to clean it out. I learned it the hard way. I went about a season and a half before I had any problems. But what happens is that angle back there I was telling you about, ash gets back over the top of it and settles down in this opening right here, which is down here at the base of your fan. And as that ash accumulates, what happens anytime you have a backdraft at all, it'll push that ash and coals up into your damper, and that'll get stuck and it'll hold your damper open and you'll overheat. So I did my clean out in the middle of last winter. It wasn't that pleasant because everything in here is hot, and getting these screws out, you can burn your knuckles trying to get these screws out. So anyway, take the screws out. The first time you do this, it's real difficult because they got that adhesive against the lip. But once you break it free, it's just hanging on a hinge here. Lift it up and off. And once you do that, you can really see where the ash accumulates down here. And once you look in here, you can see the back side of that flange. And when you do that, you'll see that this is all full of ash and coals. So again, you get your shop vac in here, get all this cleaned out, and that'll set you up for about a whole nother season. But that's a critical area that you really got to make sure that you get cleaned out. Also, make sure you clean out around your damper right here. You get into that hinge, and again, you got to make sure you get all that cleaned out. If you want to, you can hose everything down and get all the fine particulates off. But, I don't think it really hurts anything. But yeah, that's basically it. Get her buttoned up real tight. Get your bucket over your chimney, and that's it.